Hello and welcome, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, vocation read for November, December 2020. Reader Markangela Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive president of Drawing the Circle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Markangela Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, doing this on a Monday morning because I got a busy week ahead of me. Started early so I can get some stuff done. I'm heading up to Saratoga Thursday, Friday, back on Saturday, getting my my car, Dorian, because he's gray. Dorian Gray is getting his service, although we haven't gone a lot of places. But I bought it up in Saratoga, so I get the free service there. And I'm going to go see my new little brother, the Flame Point Himalayan, Blue Point, Flame Point Himalayan kitten that my mother got, and that's how my family rolls. If there's, my mother has a child, it's my brother, regardless of species. So I know I could be doing like an extended reading thing this week, like Twin Flame Soulmate, Path of True Love, whatever. They're like, do work, career, vocation, because it's a busy week. And it's we are in waxing moon. So I hope you watched your what do I need reads for new moon to full moon next. Those were fun. These are different. So let's get up in this gig. First of all, my subscribers, thank you so much for coming back and tuning in, helping me on my work, career, vocation path. We'll talk about the difference between those three in a minute. But I just always want to, particularly the Aries, you guys, like, there are certain signs, I guess, with every channel. Certain signs are attracted to different readers. I got a lot of Aries. So I'm very, very blessed and lucky for that. So thank you. And if you are new to my channel, if you like the video, just hit thumbs up. Like, nobody needs to know unless you have that, you know, in your settings that people can see your liked videos. And if you like me, right? If you're like, oh wow, this guy, he reads me. He's on my frequency, then subscribe to the channel because there's so much more good stuff coming. We're going to podcast this week if possible before I leave, bringing in other readers, right? So I'm shooting for that 30,000 subscriber mark, so to speak, so that we can have the membership function, the join button and all that stuff to do private membership content, live streams, and of course, when the extended readings go down, you would have access to all of them every month instead of buying them on demand on VIMEO, which I love, Vimeo.com. I'll keep that going too. I'll upload in both places. You know what I'm talking about. All right, enough exposition. Let's talk about this reading. What we are doing is a 9-card spread, 3 different decks, 3 cards each. Look, I did math, Ma. I do this spread for myself every now and again. I've been doing it for clients for decades. Ever since I learned about 3 levels of power from Carolyn Myss, MYSS, we're actually using her archetype cards. Dr. Carolyn Myss, PhD. I adore her work. She's been a long-distance lifesaver, never met her, right? But seeing things in 3 levels of power is a decent lens, right, to look at your life. For instance, work, career, vocation, right? They're not the same thing. They're 3 levels of power, like eau de toilette, cologne, perfume, right? So work, and you can love your work, but it's for the lower 3 chakras. It's survival. It's what you do to survive, right? Whatever that means, right? Even if you don't have a job, what are you doing to survive? That's your work level of power, the physical world. Your second level of power is your career. Now, that's not the lower 3 chakras. It's the heart, third eye, and crown. It's your passion, right? Your emotional thirst and mental hunger, right? You know, all that creativity going on inside of you. So that's like cologne, right? Work is like eau de toilette. Career is cologne, which is good alliteration to help you remember it, mnemonic device. And vocation is your spiritual calling, right? That's 8th chakra. And when they come into alignment, and you can't force them into alignment, you can just refine and work, career, vocation, bring those into alignment individually, the chakras in alignment, and they really do fuel each other, right? Like a whole energy system. For example, I am a mystic. My calling is a mystic. I seriously would live in a monastery if it wasn't I'm addicted to Wi-Fi like everybody else on planet Earth, right? Not to mention sex and chocolate and food and all that other fun shit that I'm a hedonist this life. No, already did that. Been there, done that, the monastery thing, but have the mystic calling, which prepares me in my career as a teacher, a reader, a healer. That's my passion. I'm not good at anything else. Honestly, you do not want me to change a carburetor, at least not the kind in a car, which then, of course, prepares me to do my work. And I don't get paid for my work. My work is the administrational Virgo stuff, right? The editing. I mean, it all contributes, but it's work, right? It's what I have to do to get, like, just sitting here doing readings into thin air is great, but if I don't actually record it, bring it into physical form. So you see, 8th, crown, 3rd, all the way down into the root chakra and into form. You with me? Good. I think that's enough. Look, it's a general read. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check your other signs. These are usually not terribly long. Now they are 9 cards, and I'll do my best to be as clear and concise as can be by focusing on my breath. I invite you to do the same because this has already been 5 minutes of exposition. So let's get this done, shall we? Let's work. Breathe. Of course, all the texts that I read are in the description box all the way at the bottom, along with, you know what, I'm going to try and find some links for the work, career, vocation, 3 levels of power stuff from Carolyn Myss, at least on YouTube. If I can, I'll put that in the description box too, if I can find one. Otherwise, let's do this, please. My collective pantheons of angels, goddesses, gods, I've got the masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, we need 3 cards, 3 Caroline Myss archetype cards, 3 levels of power for the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs in their work, career, vocation, November and December. So there's an overlap from last month's reading, of course. You might want to go back and check that out, just saying, right? So please, what is the dominant soul power, the archetype, representing their work in this world? Not that one. Not that one. This one, their work. Their career, right? What's going on behind their eyes, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. I will mention it. Yes, and their vocation, their calling. Now, they just said to me, it's like, this isn't always like, you do this, you'll make money. It doesn't work like that. This is about the development of soul powers, right? Things that you incarnate. Your soul was chosen to play this role in this life. According to Matt Kahn, spiritual teacher, and believe it or not, we're not using his deck, his mantra deck in this spread. Could, but no. He says, he talks about meta-incarnation, that other souls have played Archangelo Lyons. I've played this role before, right? And that's why, you talk about the quantum, right? And all the different variations and variables of all of this. So this is not about making money, although you can, right? You might. But let's look at what are the powers you're developing. And you'll see. I'm going to use Daughters of the Moon to clarify internally and Mythic Tarot to clarify externally. So you'll walk away here with enough pieces of the puzzle to know what the T is. Well, fuck. Starting with your work, you've got a divine family archetype, the Messiah. Now, to be the Messiah in the lower 3 chakras, let me read the card, right? Because the shadow side speaks to this. Exaggerated belief that you are the only means through which a cause can succeed. Oh, are you now? I've heard everybody's expendable. Particularly take reincarnation into consideration and meta-incarnation. The light attribute, this is the one you're shooting for. Serving humanity with humility. Now, humility is not necessarily the Aries bailiwick. It depends on how happy, how healthy, how wealthy, how wise they are, like everybody else on planet Earth. But you can see the difference. Only I can say that. That's hubris. The opposite of hubris is humility. Are you the Messiah? I'm the Messiah. Follow the gourd. Oh, I miss Graham Chapman. He was cute and he was gay. Your career here, we've got the rescuer archetype. Now, this is the healing family of archetypes. I don't have a shred of the rescuer archetype in me. I actually have the healer archetype in the healing family. There are only like 5 or 6 healing family archetypes. So, I mean, this... You know how many girlfriends I have who have the rescuer archetype in their relationships with men? I'm like, girl, what are you doing, right? It's like, it's a stray dog. Leave a bowl of food outside. The shadow attribute assumes that the rescued will reciprocate. When does that happen? Keeps the rescued one needy. Now, I wouldn't go so far as to say Munchausen, Baron Munchausen. Such a good movie. Oh, again, Terry Gilliam. It's in the air today, at least for me, right? So we know that you rescue someone. It's not a rescue. It's bait. It's not a lifesaver. It's a hook, right? But the light attribute provides strength and support to others in crisis. Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. And to me, darlings, that's my very same friends who turn that shadow, perhaps in their relationships romantically, I shouldn't say just with men, romantically, to what they do for animals, right? The animal rescue thing. So I could see somebody, really like, I just want to, like in the light, just want to serve the world with humility, right? I just want to serve humanity, and I want to help the peoples, and I want to save the kitties, and Sarah McLachlan is just calling to my soul, and you know what I'm saying? So that rescuer there. Now look, the Messiah and the rescuer, I mean, the Messiah is about as scriptural as you get, right? You know, in terms of that, just beware of that. It's a divine family archetype in the physical lower three chakras. With the healing family one, it's like, just make sure your agendas are clear, at least to you, right? Like if you're going to be in the shadow, like I'm going to do this so that they get me this promotion, I'm going to rescue the fucking thing, right? Well, then at least be aware of that. But the idea that you're the only one who can do it, just be careful. Just be careful. What's going on in your vocation? Oh dear, create a family archetype of the gossip. Now this is 8th chakra, right? So how in the world does that manifest in unity consciousness? Lower three chakras, 3rd dimension, heart, throat, 3rd eye, crown, 4th dimension, 8th chakra, 5th dimension. Johnny of the age of Aquarius. Some people will get that reference, some people won't. So the gossip archetype in its shadow, we know this, thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Now, how could that possibly play itself out in the 8th chakra, right? In terms of your vocation, your spiritual calling. Well, I mean, this could be about really getting insights, visions, messages, and you're being tested on, are you going to, right? It's mysticism, magic, miracles, mysticism, work, career, vocation. You've taken the soul's journey here. Where's your honor? Where's your, and are you betraying confidences? I mean, from an 8th chakra, it seems impossible nearly for me to configure that. And yet, if people come and confess to you, where is your vow of confidence, of confidentiality? Just saying. The light attribute, though, which is, of course, what we're shooting for here, awakens consideration for the feelings of others and honoring trust. Now, I will tell you, I have had gossip archetypes around me since birth, and yet I'm not really big on gossip. I feel like celebrity gossip is a different thing, right? Like entertainment world gossip. I mean, there's stuff that's just created by the producers to make things some appear other than they are, which is what fucking theater and show business is at its root, right? Unless they're embodying divine power, like in ancient Greek theater, or I don't know, Bette Midler. We're really looking here at, of all the gossips that I've known, the toxic were obvious, but the ones who could pull the truth out of people, like counselors, like you get a counselor or a therapist with the gossip archetype alchemized, you become the confessor. People come to you, right? God, everybody needs the right of confession some way, shape, or form in their life. That's what I do through prayer a lot, right? But even my friends, we have these little confession sessions. Someone sounds like conjunction junction. What's your function? Mine is often as confessor, spiritual counselor. I've been doing it decades now, right? So even though I don't have it, like I have been in sessions with people who have it, and they just draw out the truth, right? The things that you don't want to say. So that might even be about you kind of going inside and honoring your own feelings about things being said or how you want them said, right? From a higher place. All right, so the Messiah, the work is Messiah, the career is rescuer, the vocation is gossip. Let's keep going. Daughters of the Moon Tarot, what's going on inside of you? Now, I know we said the middle lane here, the career lane is heart, throat, 3rd eye, and crown. It's very inside of you. But this is more of like what you're feeling, what you're experiencing that the world may not be aware of. Daughters of the Moon, divine feminine, breathe. Yes, and my goddesses of air, the element, sorry, my goddesses of Aries, element of fire. Please, can we have 3 cards in clarity for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign in their work, career, vocation, eau de toilette, cologne, perfume, right? Literal world, personal world, spiritual world, symbolic world. Please, to clarify this Messiah card, we'll do all 3 face down. I was wondering how you wanted to do that. Thank you very much. Please, 1 card in clarity, my goddesses, for this Aries collective sun, moon, rising, Venus sign in their work, career, vocation. In their work, we've got that for November and December for their career. We've got that one, and please, so much easier this way. And please, for their vocation. Work, career, vocation, what's going on inside of them. I'm turning them over simultaneously. We've got a 3, we've got a 5, and we've got a 6. So here's the deal. 3 of blades on the inside, intense focus, a beginning focus. It's like, all right, if I got to say, if I'm going to serve right, then I'm going to focus on this. Yes, I know we just are used to now, well, please, if for centuries, if not a decade, of the 3 of blades, and in this deck, 3 of wands, being about heartbreak. But no, we have a maiden, a mother, and a crone here, focusing their thoughts together to bring something into crystallization. See the crystal, right? It's hovering above them with a sphinx, meaning there is some mystery here. It's only a 3. Nobody knows how the journey is going to end, but also a pyramid, a real idea of focus. And that's the word written there, focus, right? So this is taking a lot of your physical focus for sure. And it is affecting you internally. Now, again, if you can focus on humility, to know that you do not know. I don't know what to do, but I'm willing to be shown. There's no shame in uncertainty in this world in 2020 in terms of your work, right? But, you know, there might be people dependent on you. I'm getting a sort of good chunk of you, like, you know, you got families, you got bills to pay. Who doesn't, right? So, you know, you might be the breadwinner, so to speak. Come on up, Milky. Come sit with Mama. Come on, Booger. Oh, motherhood. He just wants to headbutt the chair. He doesn't care that mother's working, right? Dependent. What happens to them, to my little angels? Something happens to me, right? That I'm the Messiah. I'm the Messiah. Nothing else. No, they wouldn't have that. There would be protest. But you sort of get the idea, right? So there might be a lot on your plate here in terms of responsibility. And can you go even to your family, your tribes, and say, look, I'm doing the best that I can. I don't know. Nobody knows. And there's no shame in that. I'm taking the hero's journey here. That was good. And this is my Melky. You can't see him, but he's, yeah, there he is. Multitask, Virgo, that I am. For your career, again, you've got the rescuer here. And again, the shadow has hooks in it. But the light, the gold on this one is so healing family archetype with the 5 of flames, the 5 of wands. So there is an internal movement of energy here. If this is outside, yeah, maybe it's a burst of anger, but it can be a burst of fire built up over time, like a volcano. Pele, the volcano. Lay down, little one. I love you. Lay down, lay down. Little distracting, but it's an Aries reading. Why wouldn't it be? So yeah, pressure built up inside, but it can be creative. It can be that as a result of this focus going on inside of you, that it's stoking your fire. You're getting 5s are numbers of change. Don't fear the 5s. Don't fear the 5s. They're necessary, right? It's what happened if you just breathed in oxygen and breathed out oxygen? Well, there'd be something majorly wrong. There's a change that happens in there, right? So a change of fire, a change of desire, but maybe you are being inspired. The gods are in the room if I'm rhyming spontaneously. So you sort of get the idea, like this passion maybe, right, to serve. And it would make sense if you're focusing on the Messiah, then it's in a way, I mean, the strength card isn't on the table, but it has that feeling of it, right? Like that fire, that forward moving fire, that strength, that courage, that hero's journey. So I feel like, yeah, you might be frustrated. You might be angry. It's a 5. It doesn't feel like fear. It feels more like fuck, right? But use that. There's a rescuer, a healing family archetype, the rescuer archetype at work here somehow in you, right? Provide strength and support to others in crisis, right? Acts out of love with no expectation of reward. I feel like if that's what's going on in your internal alchemy, right? Your heart, third eye crown, your emotions, your mind, you're in a good place. You're in the right place if it's in that light. We've got the 6 of Pentacles here. So your success, which is literally the name of the card, success, 6 of Pentacles, under handicap, right? You know, with obstacles in the way, with things just written into the script of your life right now, that spiritually speaking, this is about then a fair give and take, but in terms of something physical, in terms of action. The inspiration is coming, but there is communication involved here. Now, creative family archetype, 6 of Pentacles, really does say on the inside that unless you're like up in that 8th chakra being all visionary and shit, like maybe you are, maybe you're not, then know that this balance is coming in, right? Because it's going to come down through the crown. This is going to make its way down, boop, 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 and this is where you're going to have to watch, maybe. How do I talk about this? What are the confidences I need to keep? And again, awakens consideration for the feelings of others, right? So there might be a lot of other people here. How do you balance it all? Well, your higher self, your 8th chakra, your soul star, whatever, has all that info in it. But right now, your interior world seems like it's getting fired up. Maybe angry is part of that. Passion, what is it? Anger is passion blocked. Want something just right, Aries head bunting, and with that focus inside of yourself of the Messiah, like really like laser beam focus. 3 more cards down. These are quick, which is why I do them for clients, particularly people job hunting. Oh, I got spells. I have got a spell for work. I have ones for career and vocation too, but the one for work is just, I've given it to, it feels like thousands of people over the decades, and it always works for them because work always comes to us. It's just not always in the way we expect. Sometimes the witch is the last cookie in the fucking cookie box. You know what I mean? They come to make it in the spell a week later. Like, oh my God, it worked. I'm like, yeah. Yeah. Put us in A, not Z. Breathe. My gods of fire, my gods of Aries, Hephaestus and Aries, very hardworking gods for sure. Please, 1 card in clarity, 3 cards in clarity for this Aries collective. Sit back. Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign in their work, career, vocation. Please, I'll put them face down, but please, 1 card in clarity. What's going on the outside here for them November, December 2020 with their work? They've got the Messiah with the 3 of Blades. Oh, and it's still face down, so I still can't see it. Good. Otherwise, I wouldn't have taken it. For their career, right? The Rescuer with the 5 of Flames on the inside. What's going on the outside? And for their vocation, the Gossip with 6 of Pentacles, success. So it's almost like the spiritual aspect of success is in movement. It has to make its way down through your chakra system, and that can happen instantly, by the way, particularly for Aries. So please, what does this look like on the outside, please, my gods of fire? And the sign of Aries in their work, career, vocation. Oh, that makes sense. Ooh, that makes sense. And that makes sense. Okay, all right. In their work, career, vocation, November, December 2020. Well, you got the Hermit in the outside. So, of course, this is internal focus. And it's a divine family archetype. And you got a major arcana card. This is a big deal. This is about you really, in a way, representing yourself as the Hermit, saying, though I am pulling back, I am focusing. In humility, I know that I don't know, but I'm willing to be shown. My book, Words of Grace, is actually being converted into a Kindle book, ebook, whatever, binaries, right? So that thing of, he knows he's not the only means through which this can happen, but he's serving it in humility. So it's that thing of taking that journey of, I know that I don't know, but I'm willing to be shown. Words of grace, the very first grace I talk about, it's all about different graces, very much inspired by the work of Carolyn Myss, by the way. The grace of humility, she talks about it in Entering the Castle. Brilliant book, brilliant work by her, based on the work of St. Teresa of Avila. And my prayer for that, I call it the Maiden Grace, the Maiden, the Mother, and Crone, the grace of humility, the grace of hope, the grace of endurance, 3 levels of power, right? And it's grant me the humility, the grace of humility to know that when I do not know, though I am willing to be shown, and please may I be shown only that which I need to know, because if what I want to know would distract me, then no. Right, that innocence, right, moving forward. So it makes sense, right? You've got the Messiah powering this, knowing you're not the only means through which this situation can work, but you're going in to tap into that divine archetype of humility and service to humanity. That's pretty rock on, which definitely reflects to your 8th chakra stuff here, but we'll get there, right? For your career, yeah, you got the Rescuer with this 5 of Blades, with the King of Cups, you're Joe Cool, or Jane Cool, Jolene Cool, right? King of Cups. Now look, if you're dealing with Cancerian, because these cards are very clear about what's on there. See a little crabby crab down there? This feels like emotional maturity. This feels like you're keeping it together. Well, and it would make sense if, particularly in the physical world, you're pulling back, but you're pulling back in emotional maturity to really not necessarily cool this fire, but temper it, balance it, right? Maybe cool it down a little bit. Responsibly hold the energy of this creativity and this passion. But with that rescuer archetype, I'm going to say it again, provide strength and support to others in crisis, acts out of love with no expectation of reward. That's your way through this, right? Even if you have to be really honest with people and say, sweetheart, we just don't have the money for that right now, but I'm doing everything I can and I love you. But I'm here. Come here. Let me hold you. I love you, right? You know, that deal. Just being loving, right? Providing strength and support. You can do that over the phone, right? You know, so maybe you're more passionate about being the healer than you might be about being the, you know, it's interesting. The Messiah is the savior and the rescuer, right? Very similar, different families, but similar range of color, so to speak, in terms of archetype. So that's interesting. And let's look here at your vocation. Remember, we got the gossip archetype, 6 of Pentacles, right? Coming into balance, moving forward. But right now on the outside, it's 2 of Flames. It's indecision. You really haven't decided or chosen. Let's keep it. Decisions are life-changing. Choices are like, coffee, tea, or milk, to pet the cat or don't. I really don't have a choice. Magnetically drawn. Tail. Cut it off and fry it up with some sausage and peppers. Now I want. But you get that back and forth, that 2 of Wands, back and forth. Well, I could do this or I could do that or I could do that. And it's all still up here. It will come down. So to put all this together for you, my Aries, keep a long story short, too late. We've got an Aries here who really is in a situation where there's pressure on. Like I can feel that. The Messiah, right? The 3 blades focusing inward, pulling the Hermit from the outside. So, right, it goes the Hermit in that 3 of blades, focus and connecting to that Messiah archetype, downloading into them, right? With that rescuer alchemizing that energy of really the passion moving, the Kundalini, right? Let's do this, even though it doesn't feel like anything's being done yet. You're handling it really well emotionally. And of course, there's a lot of communication that's in process or will be very, very soon. It will move this forward, and yet at the moment externally. Yeah, like spirit communication too. They just said like real inspiration stuff coming through that's going to show you a way to success, but no action being taken, at least not yet, not with that Hermit card in your first level of power. So there you have it. May the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus signs be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, and vocation, November and December 2020, that they may heal, that they may grow, that their work, career, and vocation may be in alignment with the golden timeline of their soul's high wisdom and reality for the well-being of all. So motivate. And so it is. I usually only say that in my morning prayers. Changes, yeah. Thank you so much for watching. Again, if this clicked for you, hit the thumbs up button. If you like me, because look, I'm wearing all serviceable brown today for you all, and I really overdid my bottom eyeliner with there, but so there you have it. We're all a work in process. So if you're having fun with me, subscribe to the channel, share the info. It's